These biggest questions are coming. Is Australia changing citizenship laws? And can Australia reverse citizenship of any citizens in the future according to current expected new laws? Who is forcing Australia to change the citizenship laws? Australian citizenship is safe or not? All these rumors, hypothetical statements in the social media will be explained in this clip. First of all, I will explain the opposition leader is behaving same as a Canadian opposition leader behave in the last 3 months. Remember, Canadian opposition leader actually focused on immigrations, and he was able to convince Canadian citizens that you people are suffering in housing, taxes, facilities, health problems just because of immigrants. Opposition leader was right to a certain extent, but he was not absolute right. But Justin was not having any response, and he was not able to defend. At least he was compelled to confess that his immigration policies were not correct, and he resigns. Similar stories are being happening in Australia. I think they are more political than immigration, because now opposition leader of Australia got idea that if I will focus immigration as a primary and number one topic, it's easier to win next election, and it's easier to let down the current Prime Minister of Australia. What opposition leader is talking about, that citizenship laws must be changed. And if citizenship law changes, it means that Australia can revoke citizenship of any citizen directly. But still, I will say, now Australian current rules, what they are talking about, they are very important to understand. Then I will tell you that what opposition leader is talking about. Currently, Australian laws also consist of that if any citizen of Australia who is overseas and he got citizenship of Australia, I mean he has passed all Australian citizenship requirement, he has passed a test and all requirements are fulfilled, but he found criminal, and he found irreversible criminal, or he was a victim, he was guilty of three-year jail, sentenced 3-year jails in Australia. His citizenship must be removed. Number one. Number two, now I am talking about current laws, but I will then explain what opposition leader is talking about in Parliament House and what he wants. And Australian Immigration Department or Department of Home Affairs can change laws of citizenship according to that or not. But that also I will explain. But first of all, I have to explain the current laws. The current laws, once again, the second reason that Australian Immigration Department, which is the Department of the Home Affairs, can revoke citizenship of any individual that is the you had deposited fraudulent paper, mean that your papers were fake, your informations which you have given to the Australian Immigration Department during citizenship applications were wrong, and you was not able to justify that those papers are genuine. Immigration Department at the time of assessment gave you citizenship, but now they got information by any source that your papers were fake. They can refuse your citizenship, and they can tell you, we did not give you citizenship, we were given wrong by mistake, and reason is only one: you deposited wrong documents, and in that time we did not know about these wrong documents. This is the second reason. And third, very important, which could be the game changer if the Australian immigration laws change now. It did not change yet, but there are some expectations which I will explain also in the last minute. This is the at least safety of Australian citizens removals now in current laws is that judge has to approve. There must be a complete legal processing without legal processing until complete legal processing. You will not, Australian Immigration Department, and Department of Home Affairs cannot revoke citizenship of any Australian citizens. Therefore, now data is very good now. This is more good news for Australian citizens. From 2021 to 2022, there was no even single example of revoking of Australian citizenship. It means that there were no chance in current Australian laws that your citizenship is in danger and your citizenship is insecure, and you are Australian citizen, your children, your wife, your almost all family members throughout your life, and even coming population of your family also Australian national, and you are safe and secure in current laws. Because 21 to 23, no, 23 to 24, only 20 individuals, and those 20 individuals were found severe crime in Australia, which were not forgivable, and those were technically they may be involved in corruption, but I don't think so that Australian biggest population are in danger according to current laws of Australia. But now what opposition leader is talking about? Opposition leader is saying that these laws are very relaxed laws. First of all, two changes he is demanding. Number one, Australian citizenship giving procedure, mean that when any person applies citizenship, the procedure and processing of Australian citizenship must be more tight. I think this point he has taken from the Donald Trump. Donald Trump advised now in recent days, USCIS, why you are giving appointment of citizenship in 2 months? Is there any reason to give? Delay it. We don't want to give citizenship to maximum applicants. And he also raised a very good point that give appointment in 1 year to 2 years. And then the point he raised, why not we assess that individual in 1 year, 2 years by our immigration authorities, by our intelligence authorities, by our verification system, that person is genuine or not good for US citizens or bad for US citizens. Donald Trump is a loyal person to the country. He is just thinking that that man will get the citizenship, will be useful for US citizens or will be harmful for the US citizenship, because a lot of criminal cases are being observed. You know, CNN International on daily basis are giving that this thing happened, that thing happened by US citizens. So he is very keen to investigate the individual that who will be given the US citizenship must be up to the mark. That's the point opposition leader is talking about. The third point is talking about that when person gets Australian citizenship, he should be revoked easily, not by current laws in which you have to go to the judge, and even in some reason, 2-3 reasons, which are very critical reasons. And he is telling in ordinary cases as well, Australian immigration is able to revoke Australian citizens. Now my analysis, I think Australian Immigration Department and even opposition leader and even the Prime Minister of Australia will not go to these changes, because these citizens of Australia, which are overseas nationals, they will have strong resistance. And remember, Chinese nationals who are Australian nationals are the biggest economic people in Australia. They are owners of buildings, they are owners of the businesses, even they are more richer than Australian. And if they will move the money, Australia will be no more rich than it's now. Therefore, I think these laws may not be valid much. But in reference to opposition leader, this is a pressure on Australian Immigration Department. Some changes may be observed, in my opinion, in the future. Which changes can be observed? Number one, Australian citizenship test, is going to be conducted to pass every individual who want to get Australian citizenship. He has to pass Australian citizenship test, and that test he has to clarify. Mean that test he has to pass. Might be Australian Department of Home Affairs may tighten that test so that few people cross that barrier to get the citizenship. Number one. Number two, if the Australian citizenship people who are Australian citizens and they are involved in corruption charges or whatever the status is. Earlier, there was little relaxation by Australian Immigration Department. That's why 21 to 23, there was no even single individual to be convicted to revoke their Australian citizenship was not taken. And I think Australian Immigration Department will not revoke Australian citizen of the biggest population, the maximum 99.9% population only, except severe cases as they were doing earlier. But they will put pressure on Australian citizens. They will put pressure. And pressure, not Australia. If you just see, United States is putting pressure on US citizens, and now they just secured another type of discussions that we will review our citizenship cases. It's a really serious matter, very sensitive matter. The people getting citizenship in United States, and they are working very successfully. They are doctors, they are engineers, they are professional people, and they are very successful. They are at toppers, and they are business people as well. And business, the president is himself is a businessman, and he remembered the businesses are raising the countries, and these are the people who are supporting financially to the countries. But these are just discussions, but still the resistance from some lawyers are coming that legally you can't review when you have given citizenship. Such type of the laws might be also introduced in Australia. But overall, one sentence is correct. You will mind or not mind, Australian immigration is tightening the immigration rules. They have tightened student visa rules, and they are refusing a lot of application, which I will explain in another clip, in which the refusals are such refusals which are with the perfect applications, perfect and possible visas applications with the genuine applicants. The visas are being refused in Australian immigration currently. I'm talking about current days today. Thank you very much for listening my session.